Great. So in this video, we're going to be showing you why you need to stop tracking opens in cold email. And this will raise your replies, protect your deliverability, and book you more meetings. So the plan for today is to show you why open tracking lies and hurts deliverability, what to measure instead, the zero tracking setup, an optional server-side tracking that you can do if you want, and then some tests that we've done and answers to common questions. So, why should you even listen to us in the first place? The reason is I've been running a B2B lead generation business for over 2 years now. We've sent hundreds of thousands of cold emails, probably into the millions now. We've seen what doesn't work, we've seen what does work. And as you can see from here, we're not tracking any opens, but we're getting 18% reply rate, which in cold email is crazy. You'd normally be getting like 1.5 to 2. And then our positive reply rate is up to like 62%. So that's why you should listen to us. So why your opens aren't actually real. Um, this is how open tracking actually works. Basically, what it does is each tracked email inserts a one by one transparent GIF and a tracking URL under the signature. And so any system that loads the image, not just a person, records an open. Your cold outreach, your cold email now looks like text plus an image plus a link from an unknown sender, which is exactly what the spam filters hate. So it just increases your chances of landing in spam by a huge amount. The reason this is like a pointless metric is because like corporate security scanners are going to preload these images and auto click links. So that will be marked as an open, even though it's just a machine. Apple Mail privacy protection will do the same thing. Um, so it's basically just not a reliable metric to measure. So the deliverability problem. So the tracking penalty, basically adding hidden pixels, redirect links, or any images to your cold emails is just going to increase the chance of you landing in spam by a huge amount. And if you're basing like the performance of your campaign on your open rates or your testing, and the metric you're measuring is your open rates, then it's going to be a vanity metric, and you're not actually going to be getting reliable data because it's only just machines opening these emails. So you're going to be cutting some emails that might actually be winners because the open rate looks good. So, what to measure instead? The best thing to measure instead is going to be your reply rate in general. So, if your reply rate's dropping below 1% and you're sending to like Google inboxes, then there's a good chance that um, you're probably landing in spam, and so you might want to change something up. Your positive reply rate is obviously also really important, but the main one is going to be your just reply rate in general. You can also track like your email sent to meeting book rate. That's also quite important. And here's some benchmarks for like a healthy email campaign. So if you're booking a meeting for every 600 people you contact, then you're in a good place. 1,400 is quite high, but probably not horrendous. It's still not great. But if you sit around like 3K to 5K emails per meeting booked, then you're probably going to have to fix something like your targeting, offer, copy, or your deliverability. And here's quick maths on how you calculate that. So just calculate how many people you've contacted divided by meetings booked, and that's your email sent to meeting book rate. So zero tracking send and the non-negotiables. So what we do is we do plain text only. So in your email sender, you can mark your email as plain text. So no logos, no HTML signatures, no embedded images. And you disable tracking. So disable open and click tracking everywhere. No direct, redirect, or shortener links, any of that. Dedicated domain. So make sure you're sending from like a domain that's similar to your main domain, but isn't your main domain. So if your domain was google.com, you'd want to send from like try.google.com or usegoogle.com. You need to make sure all of like the backend tech is set up correctly. So your SPF, DKIM, DMARC, all of that. That can take ages, but if you work with us, we handle all of that for you. Your send caps, so you're making sure that like you're not sending crazy amounts of emails. So like 30 emails per inbox for a Gmail inbox is probably like the highest you're going to want to go. We usually stick around like 10 to 20. And if you're using Azure, like Outlook inboxes, you're probably going to be sticking like way below 5, more around like the 2 to 3 mark. Um, and then reply handling, just like make sure that you're looking at how many bounces you're getting. And if you're getting a really high bounce rate above like 3%, you probably need to look at your list and re-verify it and make sure that these emails are actually valid. So the best way to actually send links is to actually ask for a reply on touch one. So if you wanted to send like a video or a Loom video through, you'd say like, you'd ask for permission. So you say, oh, would you like us to send over that video? And then if they reply, then you can send the link on the second touch. It just works a lot better because they've already replied to you. So there's already some positive sentiment there, and you're going to be sending way less links because like instead of sending every link to every person, you're only sending it to the people who are interested. And then try to use copy that gets replies. So short and simple copy is usually going to be better. Good, easy to understand offers that are like cold optimized offers. And really low friction CTAs are going to be the best. So like sending through some free value, like a video, or doing some free work, they work really well. So reply ops, the classification rubrics. So positive means that there's an interest signal. They request for details, availability, or they say like, yes, please send the video over. Neutral or like admin would be like out of office responses, like who's this, internal forward to someone else in the team. Negative is like hard nose, unsubscribe, or like not interested. And then auto noise will be like the bounces that you get. So when Google replies to you saying this email bounced or like auto unsubscribed, and all of that. So only positive replies will count towards your positive reply rate, but you also want to make sure that when you're measuring your reply rate, that you ignore the auto noise and the out of office replies, because they're going to make it look like your reply rate is way higher than it actually is. And you want to be looking at the reply rate that is literally like just from humans and measuring off of that. So this is optional. You can do a server side engagement, which is basically safe tracking. So you could publish content on your site or a clean landing page with no email pixels, and then track behavior, time on page, scroll depth, video plays, first party analytics. And then you map server side, so you could map the anonymous IDs of the prospects to the people in your CRM, not via like email redirects. And you could use the engagement as an intent signal, so you don't force clicks to qualify replies. I personally haven't really dabbled much in this, but you could give it a try. So testing without opens, these are the primary success metrics. They're going to be your reply rate, they're going to be your positive reply rate, they're going to be your meeting booked rate. Like those are the success metrics you should be tracking. If you're tracking anything else like open rate, click rate, these things are just not as important. And make sure that when you are testing, you're not testing small things like the subject line or like your PS line. Like test the offers. The offers are the biggest needle movers. Test the angles, test the lengths of your email. Those are the ones that actually affect reply rates the most. So common questions answered. So how do you know what your open rate is? You can't actually know it reliably because there's proxies, MPP, and scanners distort it. But you basically just want to focus on optimizing your reply rate. But if you did want to track your open rate, most email senders are going to show your open rate. So you would use a custom tracking domain, but always track it as basically a dirty signal. So if you're going to measure it, just measure it for a short period of time, like a week, and then turn it off again. Don't carry on measuring it forever. And then what is your preferred email platform? So you can literally use any email platform that allows you to send like plain text emails with tracking disabled, has like proper SPF, DKIM, DMARC, send caps, and strong reply handling. And to be honest, any of these that you use are going to be good. So like Smart Lead, Instantly, Email Bison. If you're a beginner, probably just start with Instantly. But yeah, the tools matter less than the setup. So like making sure your infrastructure is set up correctly is probably going to be way more important than the actual tool that you send out from. And then common pushbacks. If you want to measure, if you want to test subject lines, just optimize by replies. Click attribution, you do it server side on your own domain. And then compliance, make sure there's like a simple plain text on subscribe line in your PS line. Don't add links in there. So to summarize, this is the playbook you can iterate. Turn off tracking. So send plain text from authenticated dedicated domains. Measure reply percentage when you're doing any tests. You can do server-side tracking for clicks if you want to. Test by replies. So any copy you test, make sure you're measuring the reply rate and the positive reply rate and the meeting booked rate to see if that was like a good test or not. And then continuously refine. So improve your targeting, improve your lists, and sharpen your offers and angles. So the outcome aimed for is higher meetings booked per 1,000 emails and per positive response by combining deliverability, safe sending, reality-based KPIs, and clean measurement. So I hope you got some value from this video and it basically answered your question. If you would like us to handle all of the complexities of cold email deliverability and getting it to work for your B2B business, you can book a call with the link below. Other than that, check out the other videos on the channel, and thanks for watching.